Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie, and it's hot.
Today we're reacting to the benefits of porn and the non-benefits of porn.
I didn't have a necklace today to break up my fat neck.
Well, that's why we have the microphone, to kind of cover our double chins. Hey.
So this week is Sexual Health Week, which is run by FPA, the Family Planning Association, who are a sexual health charity here in the UK. And also, if you didn't know, I'm an ambassador for Brooke, who are another sexual health charity in the UK, and they help support FPA on a lot of their projects, including Sexual Health Week. And the theme this year is porn. So just before I get into my list of some of the benefits of porn, I just wanted to talk about some of the ways in which we can combat some of the problems with porn. First of all, obviously, comprehensive sex and relationships education in schools. This way we can allow young people to have a healthy idea of what sex and relationships should look like, and so then they can think critically when it comes to the porn that they watch. And this kind of education needs to not shame people for watching porn and
Nope.
I don't believe that schools should be teaching your relationships and how to handle them. Each relationship is so different anyways, successful or non-successful. So why would they teach that in school?
Could you imagine your middle schooler comes home, "Hey, Johnny, what did you learn today?" "I learned about porn, Mom."
I learned about BDSM.
"I learned about kinks and dildos and butt plugs." What? Hell no.
Right.
No, we should not be educating children on this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? A lot, I'm sure.
I think that, just to dial it back a bit, I think that they're talking about relationship structures, but it's not supposed to be taught in school. That's something that you learn in life. In relationships, there's going to be give and take, always, and that's something you should learn from your family as well as people around you. It's not something that the school can teach you.
I think we should have a sexual education course like I had when I was younger. Safety,
Maybe like when to get
bad
out
touch.
when to get out of a relationship, maybe. Like when to recognize.
Hell no, you should not be teaching. No,
No.
I couldn't imagine going to school and them trying to teach me about relationships.
When to recognize abusive signs. You don't think that that's something
I think that
they should be taught?
that's like a class that you should
Yes,
take.
I think that's-
but not like it's like a day class.
That's what I'm trying to-
one day, like sex education.
That's what I'm trying to say. I was trying to get there, but like, don't you think that like signs to leave, like signs of abuse in a relationship, don't you think that maybe should be taught during a sex ed course?
Yes, I do.
That's what I'm kind of getting to. It's like, okay, if this man is hitting you, maybe you should go, like, or talk to this foundation or this organization to help get out of that situation. Because I think that abusive relationships are the problem. It's not how to have a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
for watching porn, and instead create open lines of dialogue. So if anybody is worried about the effects of porn, then they know how to seek help, and there are people there that they can talk to. In the last couple of years, the UK government has banned certain kinds of porn production in the UK and porn consumption, and they're trying to limit and restrict what you can access online. But there is no evidence that these kinds of restrictions actually work. This is the internet we are talking about. And of course, issues like low self-esteem, low body confidence, sexual coercion, pressuring, and sexual violence are all serious issues. But putting restrictions on porn isn't going to help solve these problems if we don't also tackle the other things in society that contribute to them. And so whilst I think that there are some problems with porn, I don't think that the solution is putting bans and restrictions on it. I think the solution is education. And so now I'm getting into my list of the positive side of porn, just to switch up the narrative a little bit. Also, I'll note that this...
The only education you need about porn is that if you're looking at it more than like once a day, you should probably stop. I'd say once a day maximum. I guess maybe because I'm a woman, I don't understand the addictiveness of porn, but I know what it's like to have a higher sex drive.
list is about the positives of porn consumption. Talking about the porn industry and the production is kind of an entirely separate conversation. So this is about watching, consuming, viewing porn. So number one, it is arousing. I mean, we shouldn't hide from the fact that a lot of people are turned on by porn, and sexual excitement and pleasure feel great, and we shouldn't shame people for that. Number two, it's relaxing. Different people like to do different things in order.
I don't find arousal to be a benefit. Think of all the guys in middle school, high school who are just starting to become sexual beings.
Yeah.
And I can only tell you the amount of guys who've said that they were freaked out, they couldn't control it, they couldn't stop when they were getting aroused. It's not a benefit. In fact, I think that's actually one of the hindrances of porn, is that it is arousing. And that's kind of like a dopamine hit. It's kind of like taking a sip of liquor when you're an alcoholic. It's like...
Well, if you're addicted to
Yeah,
porn.
that's what I'm saying. If you're addicted to it,
Yeah.
then the arousal is actually a negative.
Yeah, it would be.
To relax. And for some people, at the end of a stressful day, it can be really nice to unwind by watching some porn and masturbating. 3, it can be really useful for LGBTQ plus folks. Any education...
I don't really get that, but...
The relaxing or the LGBTQ?
Coming home from a long day of work, watching some porn, jerking off, falling asleep. Like, what the fuck? Do guys really do that? I have questions. Do guys do that? Comment below. I'm really curious. Is this like a norm for men?
I can understand it.
If you're in a relationship? Or is this like a single person thing?
Depends on how much sex you're getting, I guess. It's like it's a satisfaction thing. People sleep better after they orgasm. Like it's a big release of energy, no matter who you are, man, woman, otherwise. It's a big release of energy, and if you're doing it at night before bed, then I can see how you'd sleep after that.
Or representation of non-hetero or non-cis bodies, desires, or relationships is often absent or limited in schools and in the media. So often porn can help to educate, but also normalize a lot of the things that LGBTQ folks experience, but don't find represented elsewhere.
That's what we were going to talk about, because she was saying it's big for LGBTQ.
You sneaky little bitch. No, you're not. No. We're not using lesbians and gays and all that stuff. We're not using that to defend porn. That's making us look pretty bad.
Also, I'd say easily 90% of the lesbian porn that you watch is actually straight women with a desire for a paycheck.
Yeah, and the people watching it are straight men.
Have you ever seen lesbians scissoring?
I've seen lesbian porn, and I find it hysterically funny.
No, that's why I say, like, have you ever seen lesbians scissoring on porn websites? Because I'll say just in general, it's obvious it's not fun. It's not educational, though, because,
No, how is it education? You want to learn about LGBTQ? Watch some porn. No.
No, maybe the T, but not the LGBT.
Maybe the TQ. You know where I didn't learn about gay sex from? Porn.
I didn't learn about it from that either. I just like kissing girls.
I learned how to have intimate relations with my partners by having intimate relations with my partners.
Amen.
And listening to them and knowing what they like.
The lesbians specifically have the unique experience of knowing what they like on themselves. So they come from a perspective of, you know what, I wouldn't like that either. Maybe I should listen to her because she knows what she likes. I know what I like. Whereas men who are straight and pursuing women get their image and their information solely off of porn. And that's why I say there's a difference, because there is. Because you may have seen porn, but you took the experience from your sexual experiences and applied that to how you did it. You didn't sit there and say, well, this chick in this porno liked it.
Lesbian porn is made for men. It's not made for lesbians. That's why when I've seen it, I've laughed, because it's so nonsensical.
Then the lesbian porn that is made for lesbians is all slow and like tongue stuff. This is where the disservice from arousal comes in. Because if a man is trying to learn how to please a woman and he's aroused by what's happening in this video, he's going to try that, and when the woman doesn't like it, he's going to be like, what do you mean?
Wait, what do you mean that the actors that were getting paid to fake sex were lying?
Right.
4, you can discover what you like. There are so many different kinds of sexual acts out there that different people are into. So perhaps porn could be a source of inspiration and self-discovery.
No. There's CP out there. Do you think that'll be educational for people? You think that'll help them figure out and discover their sexuality and who they are? Terrible argument, man.
Just to back you up again, because you like to go to the extreme.
You have to go to the extreme.
I understand, but I'm going to try and give the rational perspective real quick. She's referring to maybe things like we mentioned earlier, like BDSMs and kink, which, yes, some people are into, but would people be into it if they never saw it? It's not always safe, and people finding it and not knowing the safety measures in it, that's the problem. You know, there's a lot of forums to go to. There's this place called FetLife. There's Reddit. There's a million places where you can learn about what you like without having to see it. You can learn what it means to be a rigger or a sadist or a masochist, and you can learn those definitions and how to be safe with your partner. You don't learn safety from watching porn.
5, porn can benefit your relationships. Watching porn with a partner could add an extra element to your sex life, but it can also work as an icebreaker in order to be able to talk.
Icebreaker in order to what?
And communicate about things like your sexual desires and your boundaries. And number 6.
Oh my God, she's retarded.
Have you ever watched porn with a partner?
No.
Me either.
Why?
Why haven't I? Or why?
Why would you? Are you that bored with your partner that you have to watch porn in order to get turned on?
If I can't just get there with you by like being with you, then maybe
we have problems.
And also, if we're gonna watch porn together to learn about what we like,
why can't we talk to each other
to open the discussion about sex?
Right.
We should have had that discussion before we had sex. Honestly, I have these conversations before I even get into full-fledged relationships. I'm not trying to be like too open or too forward, but I want to know if I'm sexually compatible with this person before I commit myself to them.
You know what? On our first date, we should have watched porn so we understood each other more.
We watch documentaries. Stop it. And I can think of benefits of watching porn. None of these are benefits of watching porn.
Especially not for relationships.
If you're having a time in a relationship where you guys are not as sexually active and you need to get over a hurdle, then I can say, yeah, of course you're watching porn to get yourself off in between. But if it's a constant addiction, then I don't know what to say.
And number 6, having sex with yourself and watching porn is a lot less hassle than having sex with somebody else, perhaps less likely to be disappointing. When we talk about porn, we often mainly talk about videos online, but obviously
I would say it's highly more disappointing every single time. But I can agree that if you're lazy, it's less work. Wow. It's way easier to type in a prompt than it is to go on a date, make good moves, end up in bed with a lady. Yeah, it's definitely easier. Yeah. I mean, that's just a given.
You might as well just buy a sex doll at that point and
They probably will.
pretend you're in a relationship with it. Because that's where you're going if you're listening to this lady's benefits.
They're not good benefits.
She said that... Wait, one second. She said...
yourself and watching porn is a lot less hassle than having sex with somebody else, perhaps less like...
Okay. Watching porn is a lot less of a hassle than being in a relationship and being intimate with someone else. You might as well just yourself. That is the most retarded thing. One of the most retarded things I've ever heard of.
Is she wrong? No. But is it satisfying?
If you are intentionally not getting a girl, not even trying to get a girl because it's too much work, you're a pathetic human being.
Perhaps less likely to be disappointing. When we talk about porn, we often mainly talk about videos online, but obviously there are loads of other different kinds of material that can be classified as porn. So you have literature, a lot of erotic fiction, and now that I think about it, there must be like erotic audiobooks so you can like listen. Are there like erotic podcasts? Oh my god. If you know of any, please let me know. The classic still image, and also I've seen floating around on the internet artsy black and white porn gifs on Tumblr. So basically, when it comes to porn, please educate yourself, keep an open mind, and don't shame others. I will leave a bunch of links in the description from Brooke.
Okay.
I'm going to shame others as much as I want. Thank you very much. But I don't believe, if, like I said earlier, you're not consuming something grotesque or illegal. I'm not mad, but I'm going to judge how often you watch porn. I'm going to judge how you view relationships because of porn. I'm going to judge all those things because that's what happened because of porn.
Of women in their like 60s who used to be porn stars and what their opinions are now. And I'm really curious because this is obviously a young person thing.
She's not talking about doing porn. She's talking about consuming porn.
I'm talking about doing porn because now you're literally watching someone who like is mentally fucked up, is getting railed, probably doesn't like it, but is getting paid, so she's mentally making herself enjoy it. Like, you're literally watching someone mentally and emotionally just destruct.
Yeah, I think there's 2 places it can go.
Yeah.
The first place is I did what I had to do to make money, and I made a lot of money. The second is I did what I thought was right, and it wasn't. So, do you think her benefits were benefits, or what do you think of this lady's take on porn?
I think she's a very unintelligent, uninformed little lady who...
little lady. Continue, go on.
Who needs to read a few books and have a few more life experience.
I think she's not well informed. Her benefits weren't actually benefits. And that next time we talk about this topic, I can give you examples of what are actual benefits and why there needs to be a middle ground in the porn industry here.
I think the porn industry is just ruining women.
Well, what's your alternative to porn?
I think before, when it wasn't so flamboyantly out there and accepted as some sort of neo-feminism, liberating, I think that narrative needs to stop. I think it's toxic to women.
It's hurting men, too.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even gotten into that one. That's for part 2.
Make sure you subscribe so you get part 2 coming up in your feed. Get notifications to see when part 2 comes up. Join our membership to get part 2 early.
Or you can hit a super thanks.
Have a good day.